Hey everyone, welcome back. And in this lesson, we are going to solve a threat assessment scenario. So our scenario is monitor a malicious activity in AWS environment with Amazon Guard Duty threat list. And our question is, you are a security analyst responsible for monitoring and securing your organization's AWS environment. Recently, there have been concerns about potential threats from malicious actors in Iran and China. To proactively assess your security measures, you decide to conduct a control test to stimulate an attacker gaining access to AWS resources using compromised access keys. So I've created some fictional scenarios and we will see how we can implement or use guard duty threat list to monitor the malicious activities in our AWS environment. Okay. So I have this compromised EC2 instance. Sarah has actually launched this instance and unfortunately she has hard-coded the credentials such as secret key and access key IDs in the application code. So let me show you. Let's select the instance and grab the public IP address. Okay, this is our attacker machine and our attacker machine will be in another window. Okay, and let me just paste the IP address here. Let's hit enter. And welcome to Hakin9 Cloud. This is our application and Sarah is working on it. Okay, let me right click on it and let's click on view page source, and you will see Sarah has hard coded the credential, the access key ID and a secret access key ID. Okay, and now her credential is compromised by an attacker, and for the sake of this demo I'm playing the role of an attacker and I've got the access. Okay, I've got the access of these keys. Now what I will do, I have this attacker machine. Okay, this is my machine. I'm Afshan and I'm an attacker and I'm in the Mumbai region. Okay, so let me just connect to my EC2 instance and I will configure this credential with the help of AWS configure command. Configure, and let's hit enter. Now I have to provide the access key ID. Let me just copy all of this content, copy it, and I'm gonna paste it here. So let's copy the access key and let's paste it here, hit enter. Now we have to configure secret access key. Okay, this is our secret access key. I have removed the codes, single code. Now let me just copy it and paste it here, hit enter. Default region will be none, default output format will be none. Okay, now I will use the AWS STS get caller identity command to see who am I. Okay, in Linux environment we have to write who am I command. Okay, but in AWS you have to write AWS STS get caller identity command. So let me hit enter, and as you guys can see I am the user and the name of this user is Sarah. So as an attacker we have to know what are the permissions and policies are attached to this Sarah user, right? And for that I will go to my blog that I have written on Dev community because I forget the command. Okay, if you scroll down, this is the blog that I have written, that is essential AWS IAM enumeration command. Actually I was doing pen testing on this cloud infrastructure, so I have to compile this list. So if you scroll down you will see this command. Okay, list attached policies for user groups and role. So let me copy this command, copy this command, and instead of this username we have to write Sarah. And as you guys can see, Sarah has full access to our EC2 instance, IAM read-only access, and Amazon S3 full access. That's cool. Now what I'm going to do, so I've compiled a list of threat IP addresses from Iran and China. Okay, this is the file that contains known malicious IP addresses. Okay, so now what I'm planning to do is to create an S3 bucket and upload this file to it. Let me just copy my public IP address. Okay, and let's paste our public IP here. Okay, let me save this file. So I have already created this China Iran threat list bucket. Click on that and I'm gonna upload this file, that is our Iran China Iran threat list IP address. Okay, add files, and I will write Iran and China threat IP dot text. Okay, click on upload. Okay, let me close it. So we have uploaded our file. That's cool. Now let's go to guard duty. Okay, now let's go to this list. Okay, list management, and in list management you will see this threat IP list section. And threat IP list is a feature that helps us to identify known malicious IP addresses that are involved in various types of cyber threats, such as botnets, malware, or phishing attack. So by integrating threat intelligence feed, guard duty can cross-reference the IP addresses and accessing your resource against these external lists. So I have added our attacker machine IP addresses in this known malicious IP address list, and I've uploaded this file to our China Iran threat list bucket. Okay, now let's go to list, click on add a threat IP list, and we have to specify the name. So it will be Iran China threat list. Okay, now we have to add the S3 bucket where we have stored our threat list. So we have stored our threat list in this bucket. So let me click on the object, and let's copy this URI, Iran and China threat list, and let's paste the URI here, and format will be plain text. And yes, I agree, like by adding this list you accept and agree to guard duty service terms and condition. So let me add this list, and as you guys can see, this rule is inactive. Okay, so select this rule, click on action, and click on activate. Now this rule is activated. Cool. So if our account is compromised or attacker is accessing our resources by using these IP addresses, so we got this threat inside our Amazon guard duty. So in scenarios where there is a concern about malicious traffic originating from different countries, like I'm working for an Israeli firm, so we have a direct threat from Iran. So we have to configure these things to protect our system and protect our environment. So we can leverage Amazon Guard Duty threat list features to identify and mitigate the potential threats from different countries, right? Now, what I will do, I will go to my EC2 instance, like attacker machine, and I will make some API calls. And as an attacker, I know that I've got full access to Amazon S3 service. So let's make some API calls with the help of our AWS command, AWS S3 LS. Okay, so these are the buckets we have. Let's copy this Amazon Macy demo bucket, and I will write AWS S3 LS and will provide the bucket name, recursive human readable. I want to check the size of this bucket, and let's summarize it. Hit enter, and you will see total object is 1 and total size is 998 KB. Cool. Let me do it again. Now let's access some other buckets. Now let's access this image source bucket. So copy it. Instead of Amazon Macy demo, I'm gonna paste the image source bucket, and let's make some API call. This bucket has one object and the total size is 14.5 MB. Okay, so it will take maybe 5 to 15 minutes for guard duty to record these events. Okay, so let's go to our Amazon guard duty, click on findings, and click on high severity, and here we have got this alert, high alert. Select that. This alert is malicious IP caller.custom, and the description is an API commonly used in resource discovery was used to access a bucket from an IP address on a custom threat list. Okay, the custom threat list that we have defined. Unauthorized actors perform such activity to gather information about your Amazon S3 buckets and objects in order to further tailor the attack. Okay, and as you guys can see, in overview, we have the severity high. The region is US East 1. Count is 3. Account ID is this. Resource ID is our Amazon Macy demo bucket name. Created 1 minute ago and updated at a minute ago. And you guys can see the time as well. That is 7 December 2023. And in the resource affected section, you will see the resource type is our S3 bucket. Here we have the access key ID and the principal ID of our IAM user, that is Sarah, right? Because Sarah's account is compromised because of her mistake. And if you see the affected resource S3 bucket, you will see the bucket name, destination, and the ARN of that bucket as well. And the effective permission is not public, so this bucket is not publicly accessible. If you scroll down, you will see the owner ID, right? And here we have action, the action that performed by the attacker. So we have performed the list object action. That is the reason in the action section it is listing list object. First seen 7 minutes ago, last seen 6 minutes ago. So it is giving us the detail of the attacker's action. And the actor is remote IP, this remote IP, okay? This is our attacker machine's IP address. So let me show you. This is our attacker machine. Let me clear the screen first. With the help of curl if config.me command, you can see the public IP address. So this is our attacker public IP address, okay? And location is Mumbai and country is India. Latitude and longitude is also there because I have launched our attacker machine in the Mumbai region. That is the reason it is giving us this location. Scroll down, you will see the organization, that is amazon.com, and in the additional information you will see the threat name is customer threat intel and the threat list name is Iran China threat list, and in the evidence threat intelligence detail you will see our custom threat list, that is Iran China threat list, okay? So this is how you can use guard duty to find the malicious traffic inside your AWS environment, okay? Let me close this finding and let me refresh it again, and you will see Amazon Guard Duty has also recorded this event, that is image source, and this time the resource ID is different, images sources, okay? Image source is our bucket name that we have accessed earlier, right? And the same detail you will see, okay? And if you see the remote IP, this is our attacker machine's IP address, okay? So why I'm seeing this threat? Because I have configured this IP address in our threat list, okay? Now we know the Sarah's account is compromised. In such scenarios, what we will do, we'll go to IAM service, click on users and click on Sarah, go to security credentials, and here you can see the access key section. So what I will do, I will go to action and deactivate this key. Click on deactivate. Okay, I'm gonna delete this key. Okay, let me delete this key. Okay, let me copy this access key, paste it here, and let's delete this key. Now let's go back to our attacker machine and let's see who we are now. Okay, with the help of AWS STS get caller identity command. Okay, hit enter and you will see invalid client token ID. So that means this attacker machine doesn't have the access to our Sarah's access key and secret access key ID, right? So this is how you can use the Amazon Guard Duty threat IP list feature to find out the malicious traffic originating from different countries. So I hope you like this demo, guys. Go ahead and practice this scenario in your own lab environment, and I will see you in the next lesson. Bye bye.